Hi, Yeti guide, let's go. First, kill all the ads to take down the boss's shield, and then it's just a simple DPS check. Just like in Nexus Upper, there's also a hall of mushrooms here. At the very end of the hallway, there is a statue though that will clear the mushrooms. Also, I don't recommend jumping here because if you gain aggro, they'll tag you and they'll pull you. For these two bosses, if they're too close together, they put up a shield. Their main attack pattern is pretty simple. It's 2 swipes, 2 180 swipes, and then a red AoE. Focus on the tank. At the 20% mark, they'll start charging at the tank. These charges can be blocked, hung blocked, iframed, and etc. Thanks to Kel for this advice. If you're a ranged tank and you're fighting both this and the first boss in this dungeon, you can actually stand around 3 to 5 meters away, depending on the boss. So for this boss, it would be 3 meters exactly, and you won't have to move at all. The bosses won't move towards you. It's the perfect range. And then for the previous boss, I believe it's around 5 meters, but it's a lot more lenient, Kel said. Alright, so this fight is a little chaotic. It will seem pretty overwhelming at first, but here's the skinny of it. Every phase he has 90, 60, 30. He's gonna do 3 heat puddles. Basically, you want to stay close enough to the boss where you can grab the heat puddles, but you also want to save enough iframes and party protect skills so you don't get crushed by his butt slams. You want to stay within a certain range around 7 meters if you're Force Master or any other long-range class, barring that you're a tank. The rules are a little different if you're tank. Personally, I don't really trust my parties, even if I'm running with the same people, to do, for example, Seed Shroud or Hung Moon Block. You can trust your team, but there are times where someone will miss that. So I'd rather just save my iframes, my Frost Sheath, my Frost Tab to make sure I'm surviving. So to start, his normal attack pattern is 3 swipes, 1 red AoE where his CC bar is open, and then a red linear. At 90%, he'll jump to the middle and absorb heat. This plants a 20-second cold debuff which will freeze you at the end of the countdown. He'll suck everyone into the middle and this results in a stun, but this can be iframed. He tries to grab the tank here. Most melee classes tanking will gain heat debuff after being thrown and deliver this heat buff to teammates after tagging them. However, Warlock tanks don't have an approach skill or gap closer to deliver this heat buff to the rest of the team, so it's alright if Warlock tanks skip this mechanic and wait for heat puddle to drop. Next, he does 3 AoE jumps. Either the first or the second one can be Hung Moon blocked, but sometimes neither are. His CC bar is open on the second and third jump, but typically the second jump is CC. This skips the third jump and goes straight to butt slam, where heat puddles will then open. Once he reaches 75%, he jumps to the middle with a red AoE. He says something about frozen cruxes, which just means that he's going to start dropping icicles in this phase. Absorbing heat just means he's going to take your heat stacks and he's going to give you the cold debuff again. This time, he pulls everyone with a purple AoE. It does minimal damage, it also stuns you, and it can't be iframed. He grabs the tank here. Does a purple jump, which you have to backstep, you can't use any defense skills. Then he drops a heat puddle. After heat puddles, he does a big red AoE and icicles drop. If you have at least 1 heat stack, you should be grabbing icicles. Anyone who's range and doing less DPS should be grabbing icicles. Each additional icicle stack not being grabbed causes an additional slam during his cold slam phase. I'm not gonna lie, I kinda just lose count, but I just expect him to do purple AoEs, sometimes red AoEs, and just react accordingly. So if there's icicles, I'll try to get them, especially if I have at least 1 heat stack. Especially if you're killing the boss too fast, I feel like the lines get a little blurred between phases. So after second phase, which is 60%, he does a blue ring attack. If you don't jump over it, like how you would in Koharan, he removes your heat stacks. After icicle phase, he'll start saying he's surrounding the frost. This means he's absorbing any leftover icicles that weren't picked up. For every icicle not picked up, that's an additional slam. He starts with 1 roar, and then at least 5 slams. First 3 slams are protected by Hungmoon block, and then the next 3 can either be party protect, personal iframes, or the heat stacks if you have any. Sometimes the very last slam is protected by frost sheath. From here onward, it pretty much just repeats. He does puddles, he does icicles, and he does blue ring. Besides that, here are some tips for Force Masters. Force Masters have a lot of iframes, but they do have quite a bit of a cooldown, so try to stay within 7 to 9 meters. If you know a puddle is coming soon, walk towards it, or if you know a purple or red AoE is coming, walk away from it. It's pretty difficult to gauge how far you should be at first, but the more you do this dungeon and the more you die and res, the faster you'll learn. But most of all, try not to rely too much on your teammates for party protect skills. Try to use your iframes, time them accordingly, react accordingly, keep your eyes on the boss at all times so you can anticipate what kind of attack it'll do. Alright, good luck in your runs. See ya.